There's more dirt than we thought.
I hope your mother's not here.
I know.
You're not the only one.
Dad will you'll kill me, man. I didn't do this.
Which dad? Which one are we talking about?
Both of you at this fucking point. Jesus Christ. I'm either gonna get scalped or fucking get a video about me. I don't know which one I want.
But real talk, can anybody explain to me why, for the love of God, Andy and JF are bringing her onto their show?
Jim, how many times do you see me ask this? You guys have seen me yell about this, right? Every time they bring it up.
Well, right, like it's there has to be some fucking lore or parable to fit this. It's you see something that destroys somebody's life, and you're like, I got a good idea. I'm gonna go pick that up.
I gotta get me some of that.
I need to go touch that. That seems like a smart thing to do.
That's what I told. I think Andy wants to play with it, I guess, and have some fun with it, and that's what he thinks will happen. I don't know if that's even a good idea.
It's like there's a line of motherfuckers walking out of Sodom and Gomorrah, and one dude in front of you turns around and turns to a pillar of salt, and you're like, oh, God, I got to look back. I need to see what he's looking at.
I need to see that. I need to get me some of that.
I don't fucking get it. I don't know what these people are doing.
He came on the kill stream earlier, and like his chat violently turned against it. And
I saw a bit of that. Yeah, they got like 1,000 downvotes or something.
They were really pissed off, but they actually spent a ton of money just to send in like hate comments towards her. And then when I started off my stream, I just like played the video where I read off some shit to her. And then my chat started fucking going crazy about it. And they're just like, what the fuck, Ralph, you better fucking blow this bitch out or you're a fake too. Like they were getting angry. And so he ended up coming on the stream and he's just like, yeah, it was just a joke. We're just fucking around kind of. And Sinead came on too and she was kind of roasting her. I don't know. It was funny.
You got Sinead?
Yeah, she was.
She's not Kumite exclusive.
Who was the chick that wrote like that fucking page-long response to her? Because that was some brutal shit.
That was Queen of Bants. Yeah, and that's somebody took the part where I read that to her. And by the way, they kind of let her off the hook too because she had like a couple seconds to respond, and then I don't know if they moved on to a super chat or something else, and so she really wasn't. She kind of got off the hook, but yeah. So somebody clipped that part where I just read that to her, and I played that at the beginning of my show, and then that's when people started flipping out. They're just like, what the fuck, Ralph?
I heard you guys talking about what's his fucking handle? Is it Demotivator Tim?
Oh, fucking hell.
That's him, yeah.
And Christy Winters. Yeah, I've seen them say some shit. A few other people say some shit. Jim shared a link to an Amazon book. You know what? I'll give you my official response to all the Jim docs somebody by laughing at a book on Twitter. Dylon emailed you and he said in his fucking first opening, is there any way you could please make that video of me doxing myself private?
That's literally what it says. Yes.
Yeah. So, here's my hot take on that. If you're going to dox yourself in front of 5,000 people or like 2,000 people, however many fucking people are watching, and then taunt the chat and say, you can't do shit to me, and then chat fucks you up, I'm going to laugh like hell at that. Yeah, you're right. If you dox yourself and then get your shit ruined, I'm going to laugh at that.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out because that's literally what he says in the email.
Yeah, it's the opening sentence. I doxed myself. This fucking
I doxed myself.
Exceptional individual. Yeah, I doxed myself. And then he tells you the name of his boss, and then he taunts the chat. Well, you can't do nothing. And then chat very much does something.
And then also, just look at his internet history. It's fucking long as fuck. There's all kinds of videos.
You guys know why that Tim fucker is so pissy, right? Everybody forgets this lore because it's such a.
He was the weekly, once a week host with Worski, wasn't he?
Exactly. Right before everything picked up and people start actually doing shows people watch, Andy was doing one with Tim where he would talk to SJWs. And they would all just say, fair enough, whenever they were tired of talking. Guess how long this show ran? Like 3.5, 4 weeks. And nobody liked it.
That's a success, I think, in my book.
So mission accomplished, yeah.
So out of nowhere, when everything starts to build up, all of a sudden, this fucking Tim guy constantly adding me on Twitter and shit. Oh, now he's talking at, who is this? Somebody tells me, fuck out of here. Just fuck out of here. Get the fuck away from me. I don't know you, don't care.
I don't know. The last week has been entertaining. It's been interesting. I'll say that much.
This is the first time I've got to talk to you since all this happened. I have got to ask you a question. As soon as I fucking saw this guy's history, I knew what he was. How long have you known?
Which guy are we talking about?
Baked.
No, well, yeah. The thing that initially pissed me off, and I've said this repeatedly, is I don't like the people that say they're one thing or that try to use their audience and then turn around and shit on them like they can't handle that. And like the thing I used as an example of that was the guy that does the down the rabbit hole shit, right? Frederick, right? If you go to his streams and shit, he's a super left guy. You're going to see people talking about transphobic this and homophobic that, but he doesn't hide it. He's always been that.
Yeah,
it's not like he's going to turn on his chat the moment it becomes convenient. I mean, he's kind of set in the way he's set, and I respect that. I don't like dudes that go out there and make a shit ton of money or try to make a shit ton of money and try to make a name for themselves and then turn against the people that are like showing up at 3 a.m. to watch them to try to help them out and then be like, you're toxic. You need to go away. I'm done with you. I don't need you anymore.
No, it's such a person you can tell is shitty. You can tell that this person would flip on their best friend. They'd probably flip on their fucking mom. You can tell but he would flip on anything. But you had to have known, like, he did the fucking BuzzFeed thing, then he does the fucking Milo thing. He goes from place to place, and as soon as he gets out of that place, oh, they were full of shit back there. Now I'm red pilled. I've moved past them all. I'm the bold one. You had to have picked up on that.
Well, shit got fucking crazy. Like, I mean, my thing was, like I said, I got pissed off about the chat thing, and then, you know, I'm talking about like managing his brand and wanting to look clean, so he had to get rid of the problematic people and shit like that. Just annoyed me. But then, like, him and Andy go on to fucking stream, and suddenly we're into next tier shit. We're talking about cocaine and drug parties and contacts and fucking nutty shit.
How crazy did that fucking shit get? Because like it was just me versus him, and then
it was all just because Ralph.
Then
was
we're talking coke.
Yeah,
and then we're talking coke and like, don't say this, don't make me say this.
But well, that's another thing of what I'm saying. He'll turn on anyone on a fucking dime, dude. As soon as it looks bad for him, he was ready to flip on everyone. You made him look bad, therefore he needs to fucking start talking about Andy being on coke.
Well, yeah, that was the weird thing. Yeah, it was Ralph and Ralph and him going at each other, and then all of a sudden he turns to Andy and he's like, "Okay, cokehead." Like, what the fuck? It's like out of nowhere, you know, and then they start going at it, and it got fucking crazy. I was watching that like, holy shit.
That confirmed for me. This is that guy. He will turn on everyone for any fucking thing.
I just like to take a moment now that you've all seen this play itself out over the last couple of days, that I was completely and fucking utterly vindicated and 100% correct when I told you don't have internet friends.
I say that too.
I do that shit. Yep. Internet acquaintances at best.
Yeah, you can have.
We're weird as fuck.
Right,
you don't do that.
You can have fucking people you play games with, people you shoot the shit with, you're friendly with, you're acquaintances with, but don't go start. You know, don't tell them personal shit about yourself. Don't fucking expose yourself, because the second they can fuck you, they're gonna fuck you hard.
Boom. Don't hang out and snort coke with them and stuff. Probably not.
Holy shit, that's such a bad idea. And it blows my mind after watching this happen. After watching this happen the last couple of days, that you guys are still talking about going to Vegas. Like,
who guys?
How many red flags do you need, motherfucker, to run for your hills?
Who guys? Not this. I don't. Me, Scrub. Well, wait, Ralph, are you going with them, Ralph?
Well, you know, I have to have permission from a probation officer.
Oh, okay. Well, you're probably not going to get it. After
yes. Well, I could probably say it was a business trip. You know, my business associates, but no, I don't.
Tony Montandi's your business.
If you guys have any common sense, I'm going to be watching a live stream like 3 weeks from now, whenever this fucking Vegas trip is, of a very sad Andy Worski by himself, because nobody was dumb enough to do this.
I know Failure will. I know he will.
Jim, can I ask you, what are you working on your video, like the topic, or you don't want to?
I've been working. Well, actually, I'm working on something else. I've got something set up Thursday that plays into a video that I've been working on for a while. Okay. It's not related to the bake shit. I mean, I wouldn't even make a video on baked right now anyway, with all the shit that's going on.
Well, because there's so much other stuff on it.
Yeah, I keep getting, like, there's so much fucking shit happening, right? Look at the Channel Awesome stuff. I mean, holy fuck, that came out of nowhere and just imploded. I mean, Doug Walker walked away from the website.
Larry is the captain now. That does make me happy.
I like that he said, the first win or the winner of the first annual Hunger Games at Channel Awesome, which is pretty fucking correct.
Larry is one of the normie creators I really do actually like.
Well, and I think Brad stuck around just because he felt like he owed them something. I don't know. I don't know on that, but it's like the dream is dead with that fucking place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's funny how you covered them like last year for several months.
Yeah,
and everybody else starts covering them.
Well, I did a series on them, but I didn't predict this shit. Like this was so out of left field with the fucking Guru Larry stuff. Like I don't think anybody saw that coming. And then a 66-page document with fucking everybody talk. The only thing I found funny is I put that Mike Machad shit in there because I knew the guy that hated Mike Machad that worked at Channel Awesome.
Yeah.
And he fucking hated him. And every time I talked to him for years and years and years, he would tell me about what a cunt Mike Machad was. What an inept fucking moron Mike Machad was. Always hammering that point home. Mm-hmm. So I put that bit in about Machad in the last video because of that. And then this fucking Google Doc comes out and it's nothing but people talking about what a dumb fucking asshole Mike Machad is.
Yeah.
And then or not Guru Larry, Jew Wario. Shit, I said Guru Larry. The Jew Wario shit. Yeah. And then the Jew Wario stuff. I mean, fucking Machad didn't censor the name out properly, so you could fit it in with that. Yeah. Yeah, and then the dates lined up and everything. So that fucking started an avalanche.
All right. How much of this stuff do you think actually has legs on it? And how much of it do you think is going to smash them because of the stances they've taken previously? Like they're a very kind of a left deal for most people, I guess. You know, they're very inclusive and progressive would be the words most people use. Do you think that's doing more damage to them? Because from what I've seen, the accusations are
I'll say this. I mean, I think there's a lot of exaggerated shit in the Google Doc. I mean, I do think there's a lot of tension behind the scenes. I think there was probably, missed payments. I think there was creative differences. I think Machad and shit like that was probably a dick. The Walker brothers probably weren't on point like they should have been. The stuff that pertains to Jew Wario, though, yeah, I mean, I can't really say much without going into great detail, but I did talk to some people who knows one of the women that came forward later on. Mm-hmm. In relation to Jew Wario, and for as much as I trust anyone, I guess, on the internet, I do trust their word when they're telling me this stuff, and so it sounds like that's legit. Right. But I mean, I couldn't tell you one way or the other.
But there's nothing out in the public to where people could look at it and be sure, though.
I don't know. I think more people are going to probably start talking, to be honest with you.
I could buy that. It's just people fucking like. There's a bunch of people jumping up and. Just trying to get views. So it's like, like I've seen like 6 The Funeral of Jew Wario videos.
Well, yeah, I think Knudsen, the Down the Rabbit Hole guy, he's done a good job. Like he did the Google Doc
I think he's
live stream, and then he did the second one where they had like the info from, I think it was Iron Liz dropped a lot of really fucking behind the scenes shit. I think that was
the cell phone and all that.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some crazy shit that got dropped, and then you had like people posting on Reddit about different stuff that was coming out. I don't know. I can see how that would be a fucking quagmire, right? You have a dude that ends up offing himself, and he might have been involved in some really heinous shit. So how do you go forward and tell people right after the dude's dead, like, oh, he did all this fucked up shit? You know what I mean? So it's gonna cause a fucking schism straight down the middle of the fan base. So I don't know, man. It is a fucking shit show every way you look at it. When you're looking at Channel Awesome in the situation. But I think people will probably walk away with the impression that Machad and the Walkers knew more than they told anybody else, if it is true, right? And they're probably not going to be really happy with the idea that these guys sat on that. If you pull away everything else, right? If you just look at the Jew Wario shit and why they let him go, and if that's all true and all that shit's got a backstory, then the Walkers and Machad would have known more than they were letting on. And they just sat on it. They never said anything.
Well, alrighty.
Have I bored all you faggots to sleep?
No, it's okay, Dad. Leave me alone, Dad.
I'm trying to figure out the thing to say because, like, you know a little bit more than most of us know, and I'm not going to try to pull it out of you. But it's just there's so many people ready to jump on the motherfucker, and it'll be the same people who say, "Well, I don't do listen and believe." Well, what do you got right now? Whatever. Not you, but I'm talking to them. Like them. What do they have right now?
No, I think they should take that stance. Right. Yeah, you don't know anything. I mean, there is no fucking evidence. It's just there's a lot of shit that really lines up. That the documents that Channel Awesome themselves released, the time frame for when Wario left, frames up perfectly with the accusations and the person they were letting go. And then you've got the text font that was in that bracket that wasn't completely removed, and when you re-enter it, it lines up perfectly, almost completely pixel perfect. Which is pretty. It makes you think. It gets the almonds activated. You know, gets the noggin jogging. And then you've got just different people associated with the site. I've only talked to Iron Liz a couple of times. I had him. This would have been 2 years ago on a stream once. They didn't strike me as somebody that would just pull shit out of their ass. I mean, if that's anything, if that assessment means anything. So, you know, but yeah, go with your gut. If you think it's bullshit, it's bullshit. If you think there's something to it, there's something to it. But
it just feels like there might be, like, there's some smoke coming from around the other side of the building. I don't know if someone's smoking a cigarette or if there's some fire. Are they smoking weed? Somebody lighting up a meth pipe over there with baked delay. I don't know what's happening. I see a little smoke.